What up, everybody? Scuffy here, and it is a little bit of an update. It's been about a week and a half since I think I did the last video here. My voice and throat's feeling a lot better. Just a status update the last couple of weeks. Been a little under the weather. Voice has been rough, so wasn't able to do a whole lot of recording. On top of that, unfortunately, the last couple of weeks with the Warp Chatter podcast, I had some technical difficulties on that end. One episode, we were going to have Team Canada from the World Cup up on the Warp Chatter. Instead of recording, I accidentally hit stream, and that ended up streaming on the YouTube channel, which is fine. I just don't have a chance to edit that and save that on the podcast. And then last week, we were recording with Rex Colt from Team Asia. Rex Colt is one of the players from Team Asia. I believe he's from Uzbekistan. He's on the leaderboard right here at number 46. And testing went fine. Everything went good. And unfortunately, when I went to go edit the audio the next day, 90% of the incoming audio just cut out and wasn't safe. So we're going to be recording that call again, hopefully tonight without any technical issues. Fingers crossed on that, and then we can get back on track. Next week, when it comes to the podcast, I won't be. I'll be out of town. I'll be on vacation, so be having some fun. Won't be doing videos as much. But trying in the meantime, before I go, to try to record as much as I possibly can. And we have had a lot of updates take place. When I say updates, I mean mainly new neutrals added to the game, right? The Terra expansion in all of its glory is finally here. There are still some cards I don't have. I really haven't picked up a whole lot of crates from the whole set. I'm just gonna pick up the neutrals as they pop up in there. But there is some big cards going on, and I was in mid-stride with the Imperial Army card by card. I knew I was going to be doing 3 parts of it. I will be covering the final leg at some point very soon. I think that's energy cost 6 through 10, as well as the couple of the new cards that got added in there that wasn't covered prior. I'm waiting on that for just a smidge to see if we get any slight changes, because a couple of these cards, in conjunction with existing cards that receive the Solar Auxilia update, are really nice, really fun synergies. But obviously I want to make sure I'm given as the best information as possible, not information that quickly gets patched, right? To go with that, we have the new card, Corrin's Favor. This card's dumb. We knew it was going to be dumb. This is from the raid event. We've got that added to the game now, and a lot of people are playing a whole bunch of different ways in Warlords to make things work, whether it's Angron, whether it's Karn, whether it's Russ, Garrow. Some people are playing with the Defenders of Caliban, Cypher, just to make that counterattack. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's unhealthy, and I really expect at some point that the card will be changed, most likely by the time I get the Chaos card by card. But in the meantime, that's going on. I had somebody ask me just recently to update my Karn deck list, which was one of the very first deck videos I did, like way back when. And it is outdated, but I'm not going to update a Karn deck list just to give people Corrin's Favor and how to play it. I'm sorry, that's not the style. Like, when I make a deck list, I make a deck list for the Warlords that aren't getting played a whole lot. Karn's getting played a whole lot. That's not how I like to do my decks. I'm sorry if you come here looking for top 50 decks, top mainstream. That's not the point. There are over 100 Warlords to choose from, and I aim to do deck videos for the ones that aren't getting played. Speaking on that note, I've got several Warlords that are not getting played, but with the new factions that I'm looking to share. Some videos for Rubio, Malkador, Kendall. I've been having a lot of fun with Amendra. Just topped off 100 games with her. I went through all the fists. Might go back and revisit Sigismund. but we also are soon approaching 4th Warlords, so we can look forward to that. And then just kind of checking off my list, though, going down, who haven't I played? Who haven't I done videos for? Who isn't getting played a whole lot, but I can still have fun with? And those are the warlords that I like to focus on. So those videos will also be coming at some point as I get time to do them. Hopefully record some today. We'll see. We'll see. It's the weekend for me. We've got Barnet Legions coming up tomorrow night. I may or may not stream those games, or at least record those games. Those are always fun. Some good casual Barnet Legions play. No, it's all B tier stuff. That is a tournament that happens roughly every other week. And it's just nothing on the meta report is allowed. When I say meta, I mean no high Terra, no low Terra. Conquest format, and then people just kind of play casual stuff, have fun, drink, chat in Discord, use the Vox. It's fun. It's good stuff. It's been a good time. For those of you who are in the EU side, the European side with the time zones, the next one, not the one that's tomorrow, but the one that I'm planning for another 2 weeks out down the road, I am going to schedule it much, much earlier. I don't know if I personally will be able to attend. I'll try to, and I definitely plan on hosting it to try to make it a little bit more available, because typically for me and most of us in the North American continent, they are in the evening time, which is like 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. for the European sites. We have a lot of players who very rarely don't make it, or who have to stay up extremely late to play, and I really appreciate the guys who have. It's been nice playing with them, but I do want to make it a little bit more convenient for them and others as well. So hopefully more through the course, at least through the summertime, we'll be having those. So if you're interested in playing in the Barnet Legions and you haven't been able to because timing has been an issue before, please be sure to check out the tournaments on the Discord and join up. Hang out, chat, and hopefully meet some players or play with some players that you haven't normally played with. Play with some decks that you normally wouldn't get a chance to play. I'm still haven't picked out what I'm playing tomorrow night, but we'll figure that out usually the minute before. That's the way it works. So that's my little status update in terms of what I've been doing, where I've been at. But there's more to be talking about, because part of the fallout side effects issues of not doing the recording when I wanted to was I wasn't able to do an actual video. I announced the winners on Discord, but I didn't get a chance to do a video to highlight the winning decks for the deck list contest for May. And the May theme was close combat, so that was the theme for May's deck list contest video, was close combat. And I didn't get near as many submissions as I did for the I think I got about 12 or 13, which is fine. I mean, that's actually average for what we usually get. But we did have some winners, and I did want to go over their decks, so let's go ahead and let's get into that. Why not? Let's see here. Let's go ahead and pull that up, and we will start off with third place. Third place is Compliance of Terror. Compliance of Terror. Now, this was submitted by the name in game is it's just a bunch of like letters and numbers. So the Discord user is Banu. I'm sorry, I don't know how to actually pronounce the player name, but Compliance of Terror. This is a Conrad Kurz deck, close combat. You might look at it and say, it's Conrad Kurz, but this is really a lot of one-offs to kind of give the feel of what a Compliance of Terror from the Night Lords and Conrad Kurz specifically. He's got his unsettled populace. They're fleeing from the trophies of judgment and the demoralized militia. See a lot of terror tactics and obviously rule of fear as the Night Lords, Conrad Kurz, bring down a silent death upon the world, reaping compliance, because ultimately that's how they enacted compliance. Even when they were loyalists, their terror campaigns and their talent for murder served them well, and ultimately issuing out punitive actions And so yeah, there's a couple of civilian survivors that are, stuck with the horror of what they have faced as the Night Lords have basically punished them for their lack of compliance. So this was a good close combat deck or theme. I saw this really just kind of getting really nasty and gritty as they were. So congratulations to third place. And second place goes to Malkavan for the Hunt. And this is an Amendera Kendall deck, and he's got a couple cards in here that he photoshopped in because he didn't have the cards themselves, but he wanted to make sure that they were part of the deck, which is the Raptor Guard, the Execution Blade. But this is all about the Hunt, Kendall hunting down rogue psychers, and as she is on the hunt for rogue psychers with her fanatic discipline and her pursuer beasts in tow, her and her fellow sisters issue a cleansing flame upon whatever populace or planet that they might be, sabotaging where they need to, using their cadre tactics to issue coup de grace all the time while shunting down the opponents, using training cage obviously before they go in, and their fierce onslaught ultimately driving forth any sort of rogue psychers or witch elements. So very close combat oriented. Obviously get the Sisters of Silence get up close and personal to begin with, and that is definitely one way to go about it. So I enjoyed this. This was a good entry for second place for close combat. Again, to Malkavan, congratulations. And then we get into first place here. And first place was the Tide of Blood. And this was submitted by Alpha Row 08. And this is a ROM deck. And his caption when he submitted it was, that seemed pretty, demons and cultists getting all up in your face. Seems kind of close combat-y. And that's pretty much true. It's about as bloody as it's going to get, but that's how they like it. And this is obviously, we've got fanatics. We've got Cygnus fanatics getting stronger. We've got cultist brutes. We've got Ashen Circles. We got Acleon driving their frenzy and their fervor under the Eightfold brand, while Rom himself is flitting to and fro across the battlefield, devouring any sort of rogue or surviving infantry or troops. All the while, Jadimus Squad and the Word Bearers march on to bring forth ultimately the Slayer of Worlds, which is probably the biggest, toughest close combat demon, at least greater demon in the game. So I think that it's not necessarily super straightforward. It's not your cut and paste ROM deck. There's some nice nuances there, but it definitely I felt was deserving of close combat, because all of these are getting all up in your face. Even the Ashen Circle's got to make a sacrifice, slit a throat to fly up and immolate himself upon you. So very nicely done. That's first place. That is Tide of Blood. Again, congratulations to the winners. It's a little belated. It is June 18th. June 25th is the deadline for June's contest. And I'm late getting this out here. I already shared this information on Reddit and Discord, but I haven't done a video. But the June contest is something I do want to elaborate a little bit on. I might give it the deadline, push it till the 30th, just because of issues and also because it's a little bit more complex. So this is rivalries. Rivalries is the theme for June, and what we're looking at here is really 2 decks, not one. I want 2 decks from everybody this time, and this is going to be rivals. So I want, if you've got Perturabo, and give me Adorn. Or give me somebody else who Perturabo and Fulgrim. Maybe that's the rival. Or maybe it's Fulgrim and Ferrus Manus. Maybe it's Karn and it wouldn't be Kroll. He could, but it wouldn't work out too well. But give me 2 decks that symbolize the rivalry between those two. Maybe it was a constant rivalry. Maybe it was the Lion and the Wolf. Maybe it was something where it just happened once. Maybe it was a fateful duel like Loken and Lucius, or something like that. I know Lucius isn't a warlord, but yeah, you could find a way to work it in there. Pride with the Emperor's Children. Actually, Lucius is a warlord. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of him as a troop, but yeah, There's another perfect example of a duel that happened, a rivalry that happened, but two decks that both kind of encapsulate that moment in time or that personal duel between those two warlords. And get that submitted to me by the 25th or by the 30th of this month. Special deadline for the praising. First place gets 1,000 gold. Second place gets 500. Third place gets 300. I think I've only had about 5 or 6 submissions so far. This theme here, and we're deep into the month, this theme here is definitely a little bit more complex because it requires a second deck from folks, and you got to think about what's the rival going to be. But I am looking forward to seeing what your guys' submissions are going to be, what they're going to look like. Should be very fun. So that is where we are at right now with the deck list contest for June 18th. Here we are. I've got some videos on the horizon to do. We've got this new event. We're going to be talking about stuff on the podcast as far as like these new rewards, what they could be. Obviously, what Corn's Favor has been doing to the game. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to discuss in the game, and I've got some stuff coming down the way, and I'm finally getting to a point where I can talk without burning my throat out, and hopefully have some good content for you guys. Again, if you're hanging on the edge of your seat for some sort of deck that's going to include Corn's Chosen or Corn's Favor, I'm not going to give it to you. Sorry. I expect Corn's Favor to be changed at some point anyways. But also I don't want to contribute to that. I don't want to be party to the crime. No thanks. But we've got some other decks to do that are fun. Like I said, I've got like 3 or 4 on tap that I've got some games to show and to show the deck, and I'm having fun with them. And you can, despite the new cards. And actually, I mean, honestly, the new cards are cool. Like, just without going all up into it, I love Solar Auxilia. They might be a little bit too strong. I don't know. I think Lord Castellan, which just got changed last week, definitely came out too strong. Now where it's at, it's okay, but it's not fantastic. I think they might have overdone it just a smidge, but I understand why they did it, and I don't disagree with that. There are still some very good cards in the Solar Auxilia, talking about the Epic Kenshiro as well as the new Legendary. Awesome synergy there, which breathes great life into the Imperial Army warlords, but also a ton of warlords who can just use infantry troops, and there's a lot of them out there. So I'm going to get cracking on some other videos. I want to thank you guys for quick checking out this one here, and hope you catch me somewhere down the line with the Bardnet Legions if you're looking to play, or want to be part of the Warp Chatter podcast, or if you've got a decklist submission to submit. That's about it. Spread the word. Until then, keep playing Legions.